about to put this microphone on this phone in that socket there, which will give me much better audio. Now, I might even throw on a light too for those of you early in on this live stream. I had a light here. What did I do with that? I've lost it. Here it is, here it is. And I need a thing. Where's the thing? There it is, people. I'm here in Montreal, a beautiful hotel, and I've only got one more night here, and then I'm heading off somewhere. And you know what? You're going to decide where the hell it is I'm going. Just let me put this light on. Because I have 4 nights away from Montreal before we kick off with what is it, 9th race of the year? So I'm going to need your help, people. Is that any good? Maybe I'll turn this down. Try this way. Yeah, okay. So in short, you get to decide where I'm going and a whole lot of other stuff. What I eat, where I stay. And I'm paying for it, of course, but I'm keen to see what your suggestions are, and I'll get to that in just a second. First of all, I'm having a Coca-Cola, and this one here says, something, yeah, my French is shocking. But I have a car, and I'm in Montreal, and I've got 4 nights, and I'm going to stay at somewhere different every single night. Cheers, people. So let's have a look at your questions. Not your questions, your suggestions. I've got my laptop here, so I can instantly find out accommodation options, or if you've got them, I'll gladly hear them. I don't want to be travelling for 6 or 7 hours, ideally. But then again, I don't want to be going 30 minutes out of town. And I haven't had poutine this trip, but I have had potato bravas in the last place. Cape Breton Island, Nova Scotia. How far is that? Let's have a quick look. And, I'll go to maps, and I'll put in Nova Scotia from here. I've done a little bit of research, so a couple of people have already sent me stuff. Directions from here, how far, your location. Leave now, come on. Oh, no, it's 11 hours by road, too far. I want to get somewhere and have some time to enjoy it, have a look around, do some interesting things. Michael says visit Ottawa, Drew, Quebec City. Now I know roughly where those two are because I've done a little bit of homework on this. They're in different directions, which perhaps doesn't help unless I do some sort of loop. Ottawa. Tell me about Ottawa, people. Somebody's gear down says Mont Tremblant. For sure. Somebody emailed me the other day and gave me quite a lengthy discussion about that. So my first night will be Saturday night. I've got to find somewhere to stay Saturday night within driving distance. Ottawa is a little boring, just Parliament there, and that's about it. Toronto, but you can't say Toronto, you've got to say Toronto. Otherwise they know that you're from out of town. Sherbrooke, then Quebec City. Sherbrooke, how far is that from here? This is the beauty of the internet. Oh, it's only 2 hours. Which direction? Okay, that's an option. Quebec City is 4 hours drive max. Team Redguts suggests I stay at the Chateau Frontenac. I got an email from you, didn't I? Because some people have seen on my Instagram post that I'm here, and they've commented on that post, or they've DM'd me, or they have sent an email. What does someone say here? Cancun? I'm not going to Cancun. You can't drive to Cancun. Bronson says stay at Mont Tremblant. The Strolls track is there. Well, I tell you, there is a track there, but it's not Lawrence Stroll's anymore. I know that for an absolute fact. He sold it after noise complaints. Does not own it. Okay, so I've got a couple of options there. Prince Edward Island, let's have a look. How far is that away? Prince Edward Island. For those of you who have not been to Canada, I think that's too far. That's 11 hours, I'm not going there. Banff, I know that's a long way away. Niagara Falls, I did consider that. How far is that? Niagara Falls. I've never been there, but I have been to Iguazu Falls in Brazil on the border, and it is stunning. That's 7 hours, not going there too far. This is a car meet going on right now in Brossard in Montreal. Brossard, let's have a look. Where's Brossard from where I am? Today I went out to the Olympic Place. Brossard's only 26-minute drive. And it's across the other side of that river, St. Lawrence River. Somebody retracted a message. Rawdon is nice. I don't think I'd go to Brossard for my 4-night stay. So I've got 4 nights, and the first night I'm booking for is Saturday. Montreal, yeah, I'm in Montreal now. I've got to get out of here. Jesus, the roads here are shocking. There are so many potholes, and I was told last time I was here, it's because the government gives the jobs to the mafia. Did they say the mafia? I don't know, organised crime, something like that. A less reputable organisation, they do the cheapest possible job, and they are shocking the roads. We're known for terrible roads. Sorry, yeah, I don't know how you're... I guess it's great for the panel beat, not panel beaters, the suspension people and the like. Winter is no joke in Canada. Does it look like it's going to rain in Canada? No. And at the moment, there's a whole lot of haze from some bushfires, wildfires. All right, so Quebec City comes up, but I'm going to look at Ottawa. I'm going to have a look at Ottawa and see what it throws up. And what would I do if I went to Ottawa, people? I'm keen to hear your thoughts. That's for synchronizing some audio. Because I'm going to do a video about my trip. And what I'll do is tomorrow night, when I get to wherever I'm going, having booked now, Ottawa's boring, yeah. Look, it may be boring, but I think it's not a bad stop. It is your head of, it's like Canberra for Australia. And I'm only doing 1 night, but let me have a look here. Ottawa, 2 hours, 32 minutes. Is that right? Yeah. From Hotel Le Germain, which is a beautiful hotel here. Yeah, 2 hours, 32. All right, so let's say I go to Ottawa. I need some accommodation, which case I'd go to hotels.com and see what they're offering. Now, I realise that most of my audience will be from nowhere near, what is it? Ottawa or Canada for that matter. But maybe the people who are here are experts and can guide me. So I'm looking at the nights of the 7th to the 8th. 1 night only, flying visit, 1 traveller, 1 room. Let's have a look. Oh, there's a Le Germain over there too. Right, so this is what we've got here, guys. Weston, 412. Le Germain, yeah, that's a lovely hotel. I'm in there now, very trendy. Yeah, nice property. What's the next one it throws up? I want to stay somewhere nice. Andaz, what's this one? Oh, that looks sexy. Got a fire there. Nice rooms. Okay, that looks, oh, good view as well. Back to me, people. What should Kim, who is your favourite F1 driver on the grid? I don't tell anyone. There's a Fairmont there too, is there? I'm staying at the Fairmont here for the race, and I can tell you that F1 did a ripper deal with the Fairmont Hotel for a media hotel, and I'm very excited about that. If you want your comment to be seen, make sure you hit the super chat button. I'm going to put this back down a bit lower here, like it up there. Apologies for the moving it around. Toronto is the way to go. I think it's too far. I don't be driving forever. And as Ottawa, let's have a look. King bed, 373 Aussie. That's all right. A lot cheaper than where I am now. I'll come back to that. I think I'm interested in that. And what would I do if I go to this boring city called Ottawa? I'll do a live stream on tomorrow night from a restaurant, and I'll be inviting you to select what I eat for dinner. and select where I go next and suggest. So someone says Andaz is okay, but modern. Chateau Laurier, old, classic and classy. I'm not an old, classic, classy guy. I like modern, clean, simple. I have stayed in a couple of very elegant hotels in my time, but I don't think that's me. I'm not flying anywhere. I'm not getting on a plane. It's me, Vanessa. No planes. I do too much flying. I've got a car. I swear nothing in Ottawa. Tulip Festival is on. It's gone. Okay. Somebody says Gannoque, Thousand Islands, Singer Castle. Fairmont Pacific Rim in Vancouver. Where's Vancouver? That's a crazy distance, isn't it? Guys, focus. It's too far away. Where's my maps? I've lost my maps. Now I've got Coke on my fingers. Here it is. Hotel Le Germain to Vancouver. I think you're being stupid here, people. Let's have a look. It's thinking. It's doing the calculation. It's on the other side, yeah. That's ridiculous. It's a 48-hour drive, and then I just get there and have to come back. Right, that's a stupid suggestion. Daily Dose of Entertainment says, I went to Sydney in March. I loved it. I can't wait to go back. Thank you for that. A little bit off topic, but thank you for that and your super chat. Sydney's all right. I go there maybe twice a year and only to the airport. That's the only reason I go there, is to catch a flight with Qantas to LA. Fairmont Richelieu. Let's have a look at that. Fairmont. I'm going to go back to hotels.com. Look for Fairmont. Is that in Ottawa? Fairmont, Ottawa. No, that's not in Ottawa. Oh yeah, no. Chateau Laurier Gold Experience, $674 Aussie. Get some ice here and clean my sugary fingers. And by the way, people, I found the most disgusting laundromat I've ever been to in my life, right here, about 10 k's away, near Mont Royal. What a disgrace. Half the machines didn't work. It was filthy on the floor, but I didn't have a choice. My washing's clean, but I should have done a video on that. Rightio. No, I'm going to go to Ottawa. And if I don't get any better suggestions than the Andaz, it looks all right. All right. Tonya, who's watching this at home, can you book one night, please, at the Fairmont? And that's for tomorrow night, in on the Saturday and out on the Sunday. She'll come back and confirm that. Nathan, as a Montrealer, I'd recommend the following: Mont Tremblant, Quebec, Old City in Quebec. That's quite a distance from Ottawa, isn't it? Because it's in the opposite direction. Well, when I say Quebec City. But I'll worry about those later. At this stage, I just needed to get my first stop under control. And I did get a few other people who emailed me about Ottawa, and a couple of the other ones too. The same names keep popping up, so it might be I do a loop. I just have to sort out, because I'm getting last minute accommodation, which sometimes can be really good because you get great value. People are frightened their Airbnb or their hotel room's not going to be rented. Other times it can be crazy over the top because it is the last one or two rooms left. So hopefully, well, in Ottawa, I think that was pretty darn good value. What was that, 300 and something Aussie? Which is about 280 Canada money, 240 US money. Can go to Ottawa, come back to Montreal, then I'm not coming back to Montreal. I've got 4 nights and I will avoid this place because of the roads. Quebec, and then rent a motorcycle to do a, oh no, I wouldn't be insured for a motorcycle. That would be dangerous. My office would go crazy if I did that. Quebec City, yes. So let's talk Ottawa. What am I going to do in Ottawa? Does anyone have any restaurant suggestions in Ottawa where I definitely should eat? Something, I have to stop halfway at Chateau Montebello. Let's have a look and see where that is. There's somebody here. Chateau Montebello. Should I have lunch there? Is that right? No, that's the Fairmont. Is that the hotel you're talking about? Fairmont Chateau Montebello? Okay, noted. I'll write that on my list of options. And the video I'll be doing, I'll have a lot of time. Hence, I can't do two things at once. Montebello. I've got a number of different cameras, like this little one, like this one, and a whole lot of different mounts that allow me to do some very interesting shots. And I will do that because I'll have time on this video, so I can do a whole lot of B-roll stuff where I stop my car. I've got a Ford, I picked it up today. I've got a Ford Mustang. So I can go and stop on the side of a road, put a camera down, and then drive back a little bit, then drive over the camera, then stop and pick up that camera. It's called B-roll. You film people will know it. And if you don't know it, you do now. Eat at North and Navy. I'm writing that down. North and Navy. And what I thought I'd do is I'd give you the opportunity when I go there tomorrow and do a live stream from whatever restaurant I have dinner at, for you to pay. You can say, right, I'll pay for that meal and I have to eat it. So if there's something bizarre on the menu and you want to pay for it with Super Chat, I'll eat it. I'll order it. Look, I did that before once in Indianapolis. It was the funniest thing. I was up in a bar in Indianapolis on the roof, and there was a good buzz going on in the place, and then people could, you watching it, could see people behind me and they'd say, hey, buy that girl a drink over there, or that guy in the red shirt, I'll buy him a beer. And it was hilarious because I'd just be shouting out to the barman, a beer for that person, red wine for that person. So maybe we'll do that tomorrow too, where you can dictate what I eat and perhaps even what others eat or drink. So North and Navy is one option. Stop suggesting Vancouver, yes. It's not 2 or 3 hours. I think I could do, the most would be a 4-hour drive. I'm just thinking in Perth, 4 hours is quite a long way. I don't want to sit all day in a car. And how about you people hit the like button? Come on, hit that like button. Where's that rest of the can of Coke, people? I've lost it. No, it's back here. That's dangerous. I also went and had a look at the Biosphere, is it? Bio something here today. That was interesting. Last night, went to Cirque du Soleil. Stunning show. Just amazing. I had, first half, I had row 3 seats, and the last half, second half, I had front row seats. Phenomenal. Really emotional stuff. I loved it. Schwartz's Deli. I think I went there last time. And no, I haven't had any poutine this time. I did have a shit meal for breakfast the other day. It was a shocker. It was pancakes. I thought, I'm going to have pancakes with proper maple syrup. But a bit of a disaster. Oops. It was, the pancakes were doughy inside, and in the end, the guy's pretty good. He said, do it at half price. I ate half of them. Not going back there again. But I did have a very good steak at Monarch 2 nights ago. Really good steak. Last night at the Keg. Yeah, I maybe ordered the wrong thing. So anyway, no more suggestions about where to go yet, because I'm going to do that for the second night, tomorrow night. So this is day 0, planning for day 1. And somebody suggested I stop at Chateau Montebello on the way up there, eat at North and Navy, not going to Toronto. It's too far away, I think. It takes me further away from here. Now, what else am I going to do on the way there? Drive to Quebec City. Yeah, well, look, it may be one of the other 3 nights. But at this stage, I've got nights 1 set, and my wife, hopefully, what time is it? Oh, actually, Jace might be booking this. 1 a.m. in Perth. Someone will be booking it. At a pretty good rate, too. Somebody sent me a private message in Messenger. Gosh, I'd be hard-pressed to find that. Anything on Facebook is a nightmare. Hello, Gustav. One of my regulars suggests Quebec City is worth the trip. The largest walled city in North America. And it's truly like you're back in Europe, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. I've made a note of that. Thank you very much for your suggestion, but we're looking for day 2, cities and accommodation, tomorrow night. I'm not going to think about it. Oh, of course, I got it in my head. It's always there. But I'm very keen to get out of the traffic here. Lando's is Zane's favourite. Good to know. Long Salt Parkway at the St. Lawrence on your way to Ottawa. Let me write that down. What's there? Long Salt Parkway. Shall I have a quick look at that? Let's see what comes up here. And I've got my Andaz hotel booking done. Thank you, whoever did that, Jace or Tonya. Oh, it's a whole lot of little islands with a road across it. Is that what I should be looking at? Looks pretty. Parks of St. Lawrence. Visit someone's mum in St. Lawrence. Michael has a mum. La Banquise. What is that? Is that food? Isn't that potatoes? Take a 20-minute flight in an old biplane. Rent a canoe on the canal. Yes, somebody told me about the canoes. Canoes, writing it down, in Ottawa. I saw an otter today out at the Biosphere, something or other. It was great. Joe Beef Restaurant. Few people tell me that. That's here, right? Joe Beef. Do a meet and greet at Parliament Hill in Ottawa. I doubt I'd get anyone there. Biosphere is correct. Yeah, it was interesting. Lots of school kids doing trips. I imagine it's quite interesting. Yes, close to Atwater Metro Station. Helicopter Restaurant is the best kept secret. But where? In the Aviation Museum in Ottawa. Anyway, if I don't love Ottawa, I'll just leave very early on Sunday morning. What about people, live music in Montreal? Where's a good place? I don't want to see a full-on concert, but I'm harking back to my days as a youngster in Adelaide when I used to go to the Arca Bar. Any Adelaide people? What's the time? I don't think so. It's 2:30 a.m. But if you're still awake, I used to go to the Arca Bar. Where else? Old Lion. A few of those places. Maybe I'm just hoping to relive my teenage years and find a good music spot. I'll last about 20 minutes, but it's worth a crack tonight, and I have no plans. Helicopter Restaurant does look pretty special. Where is that? Helicopter Restaurant. Will Max quit? No, Max doesn't know. How would anyone else know? Helicopter Restaurant. Images. Here it is. Let's have a look. You can see this with me. It's not getting me yet. No, I don't think. Is that the one? Might not be the one. If that's the one, no, it doesn't grab me. Back to your questions. You should go to L'Estrie. Oh, I saw that Three Monkeys things. Satay, but that's not far from where I'm staying. Harmon Steakhouse in Ottawa is the best steak. Let me go back to this. You'll have my wife telling me off because I've had 2 steaks in 3 nights. The first night I got here, I had a bar of chocolate from the minibar for dinner and promptly went to sleep. Harmon Steakhouse in Ottawa, right? So, assuming if I get there, I can do a live stream from there for 20 minutes where I show you the menu, and I missed a live thing. I will show you the menu, and you can select stuff that if you want me to eat something that I wouldn't order, you can order it for me and do something on Super Chat, and I'll try it and tell you what it's like. I have to do 2, wouldn't I? Because I'd have to do 1 as I'm ordering and then 1 after I've eaten. Gustav, what are my favourite bands? I love Steely Dan. Well, half of them is no longer with us, but yeah. That, by the way, is a little glass thing into the shower in the bathroom. It's a beautiful hotel room. Well, you wouldn't pick it from here, but it's quite big. You'll see it on my video. I've got a video going up in 2 nights' time. It's called Air Canada. Is it the worst airline in the world? And I answered that question based on my flight, which I know is only one flight. And the gist of the video is that nearly a third of the TripAdvisor ratings for Air Canada are 1 star. 9,000 1-star ratings. I don't know whether any airline... Let me have a look at TripAdvisor. See if someone like... Oh, what's another airline? Let's go to Qantas. See what Qantas gets. Maybe all airlines get 1-star reviews. Lots of them. Come on, show me. Let's thinking about it. Air Transat. Quite better. I don't know what that is. Why is my internet not working? It is on my phone though, which is what I'm talking to on here. We just like to hate on our national carrier. What do they get? Hang on, the 21... No, they only get about 15% 1 stars. No, wouldn't even be that. It'd be 13%. So an airline batting 33% 1 stars is not good. And I do know that Canadians don't like them. And it's expensive. Well, when I say that, I took a flight going back several years ago from LA to Canada. It was a rip-off. Way too much. That's Coke, and the ice is melting. But this flight, well, I won't give it away. You'll have to watch the video. It's a good one. Cafe Gelato, St. Laurent. I shouldn't be eating gelato or drinking Coke, probably. No, I don't like jazz that much. Yeah, what do I don't know. I honestly don't know. Australians, you'll remember the Angels. You'll probably remember Cold Chisel. I used to go and see those bands in my late teens. Schwartz's Deli, yes, I know it, and I don't like it. Air Canada, lost my luggage, and they didn't want to refund me. Yeah, I go through, in the video, I go through a whole lot of people's comments. And look, airline business is tough, I know, but I don't think you should be having 33% of your, or 30% of your reviews as 1 star. And a lot of them saying they gave them 1 star because there's no 0. Canadian Coke is fine. Will Max pay for dinner? No. Izane turned 16 a few days ago. Lee, you should go here for lunch. Ketty, Montreal. Really good sandwiches and soups. I haven't had lunch yet, but I'm certain... Oh, thank you very much for those people who hit the like button. It helps with the algorithm. But so far, I've decided I'm going to Ottawa tomorrow. I'm going to drive, pack up, leave here, stop maybe at Chateau Montebello for lunch, maybe have dinner at North and Navy, perhaps go canoeing for my video, maybe have a steak at Harmon's. These are all options for me. Faith Thomas, hello, regular name I see. I'm in Montreal right now. I haven't got much of a view. It's of an office building, but that's fine. Did you look up Mont Tremblant? Yeah, but I haven't given it much thought yet. I've got the first stop out of the way, and that was the important one. My car got delivered to me this morning. That was nice. And I've done my laundry, so I'm all set. Will I do a meet and greet? I haven't got my schedule yet. I don't get it until normally Tuesday or Wednesday before the race. And if there's an opportunity, I promote it on Instagram. What car disc you get? I got a Mustang, a Ford Mustang with lovely leather seats. And there's a wraparound screen that looks pretty sexy. It's not going too well on the Montreal roads because they're full of potholes. How's the sky? Well, it's very hazy, extremely hazy. There's a refreshing drink. Went out to the track the other day, turned the stream volume up. You can't. There's no control anywhere. There is no volume control. There's a microphone on here. You have to turn it up your end. There is no way, unless I do that, and then you don't get to see much of my face, which could be a plus. Other suggestions for what I could do on the way to Ottawa or in Ottawa or leaving Ottawa. How are the bagels? I don't love them. Very heavy. Don't love them one bit. Leave Montreal. Stop at Chateau Montebello. Biplane ride before you hit Ottawa. Yeah, okay. Biplane ride. I've written that on my list. Go for a canoe. Riviera is another restaurant. Right. All good tips, people. Thank you very much for that. I went to a Pacers game. Indiana Pacers. I saw them in Indiana. Some lovely people invited me to be a guest in their box, and it was excellent. Try the Dark Fort restaurant close to Andes. I like anything close. I do not want to get, what's it called? Dark Fork. I do not want to get in my car and drive somewhere for the sake of a meal, which almost always I'll be disappointed in. So if I can walk a short distance and be disappointed, that's a win. Eat in complete darkness. What? That sounds interesting. Complete darkness and be served by visually impaired servers. I'll tell you a story once. I was at a restaurant on the Gold Coast, and this staff member would walk past, and I go, excuse me, just as they got past. I look up just as they got past. Oh, excuse me. And they keep walking. Then I missed them again. The third time I missed them again. And the fourth time I said, hello, hello. And it turns out she was deaf. So, yeah, that was a funny moment. Who would have known? I didn't know, obviously, until it was made clear to me somehow, and I can't even remember how. That would be hard to stream, yeah. No, you know what? I just bring this little light with me. Put it on my face like that. Yeah, that's doable. And I'm moving to the Fairmont for the race weekend here. And if you've just joined, I can tell you that the media centre is, the Media Accreditation Centre is at the Fairmont. And there's a bus that takes us directly to the media centre from the Fairmont. So I just walk downstairs, get on a bus, go to the track, finish my day, get on the bus, come back to the hotel. That's a deal. You're not allowed to bring a light in. Wow, that's interesting. Maybe I might stand outside and perhaps do a little bit, or just pop in and have a look. I don't know. It's on my list, Dark Fork. That's the blind servers. Take a 2-hour drive to... Yep, that's what we're doing. We've already agreed that my first night... Oh, and I'm going to need a thumbnail done for tomorrow night. Better make a note of that. My first night is in Ottawa. First of 4 nights. And I'm not sure yet where I'm going, and I won't make that decision yet. I'll leave that until tomorrow night when I do my next live stream, and hopefully you'll be on board with me there. Skydiving in Canada? I don't think so. I'm not sure my insurance covers that. I'll go to the Abbey Saint Benoit de Lux Lake, isn't it? Catholic monastery. Amazing cheeses. I bought some cheese today. I thought, having seen lots of stuff on YouTube about, not YouTube, social media, about the tariffs and Canada and America, that I would find, I'm going to turn that around, that's too bright, that there'd be a lot of gaps on the shelves, and in particular liquor stores I thought were being hard hit in terms of taking off all the US liquor, but no, I haven't seen that. I've seen everything available on the shelves. That might be a bit of a furphy. Now, back to your comments. Good folks. Fairmont, John Lennon and Yoko Ono suite. Is that here? Because there's a... Right, was that here? There is a... It makes sense because there's a big picture in the foyer of the Fairmont with that. I think they've kept that room, haven't they? The same. Yeah. Is it going to be raining? No. Well, 2 days ago it wasn't going to have any rain for any of the weekend. Why don't you take some driver with you? What makes you think a driver would be here 5 days before the event? I think they would have better things to do than come... And there's no chance they'd be driving 4 days with me. No chance whatsoever, but perhaps we can dream. And which driver would you like to see in the car with me, and we could video it and chat on the way? Those gaps are covered by alcohol from other countries. Well, no, I bought Southern Comfort here. That's American. No problem at all. Smoggy, hazy, yes, very, very today because of some bushfires. Says, you are not in Canada, you're in Quebec. And I must say, I went to a supermarket today with some very interestingly dressed people on the checkout. Purple hair and lots of piercings and, yeah, very alternative. And I've seen a few comments on my YouTube video from people having a crack at the wokeness of this place. Which store? SAQ, I think that's what it's called. Probably restocked after tariffs delayed, sell slow, high prices. Stroll with one arm. Yeah, he might have to change his steering wheel and put some controls on the other side. And I can tell you, it wasn't surgery, it was a procedure. I didn't even think when I put surgery that there was a difference, but there is. So I imagine that's not invasive. I could be wrong. Have you ever been to Mont Tremblant? No, it gets mentioned a lot. Well, I will look at that tomorrow when we plan day 2, but so far, for those of you joining, I've had a number of suggestions and I've decided to go with Ottawa for night 1, staying at the Andaz, which I think is part of Hilton. No, Hyatt. And I'm a Hyatt member, so that gives me some sort of extra, I don't know what. Maybe do canoeing, have dinner at Harmon Steakhouse or Riviera, stop at Montebello. What does someone say here? Ottawa is number 1 though, you'll love it. Well, look, it's new. It's all new. Anywhere I go is going to be new because I've only ever been pretty much to this area here in the centre of Montreal. And there's a lot of roadworks going on around here. So come Saturday night, it's going to be a right royal bun fight, I'd suggest, trying to get around. And I think we just have to be prepared for it. Anyone going to the race? Have you bought your tickets? Have you watched my video about the drama last year and what they're doing to offset that this year? Because they are making some changes. In fact, when I got here, I saw a video that they'd done on a local news station, and that gave me the idea to go and do a video about the things that they're talking about doing to make it a better experience for you, the paying customer. What bag you use to store the expensive gears and how you manage to get them in. Oh, I just use a think tank bag, which is there. And just put everything, most of it goes in, not everything, most of it goes in there. And the rest goes in a suitcase in the cabin. Not any great logistics involved, just carry it on and goes in the overhead locker. Works fine. Not going to Montreal from Saskatchewan, we'll go to Austin. Now I had a winner of a pair of Ray-Ban Sunnies, and that person was from Saskatchewan. So I actually brought them here and posted them to them, couriered them to them. And I imagine they'll get them next week. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. Check out Hidden Bar, Atwater Cocktail Club. Go for dinner at Liverpool House. Is that here? Oh, I've got so many notes now. You must have been about the 10th person to say Joe beef, but I'm not having beef tonight. I've had too much beef. Poor Canada is Chinatown, Punjab. Life is short, stop at McDonald's. Austin is closer. Do you have to use Carnet to import your gear? I have a Carnet. It's a very lengthy document. Yeah, it's no drama. Once you do it, you're locked in. But yeah, it's a thing. We're travelling from Victoria, British Columbia on the west coast. How are you getting here? Horse and cart? Air, very popular form of transport, air travel. Any track changes this year? Yes, parking for the drivers. Watch my video. And there's some stuff last year that we don't have. My video has it all. Liquor is provincial. Quebec hasn't banned American stuff. Is that right? Are they fans of the US here in Quebec? And why is this place regarded as not Canada? Because of the Frenchness of it? Because of its wokeness, perhaps? Liverpool House is next to Joe Beef, and you're more likely to get a reservation at Liverpool House. Yeah, look, I'll be dining on my own, so generally I don't have a problem, even if I have to sit at the bar. Which is always interesting because no restaurant in the US or Canada is without a television, or many. It's bizarre. In Australia, very few proper restaurants do not have televisions in them. Bars do, but not proper restaurants. As a bucket list, Frenchies want to leave Canada. Oh no, sorry, all those Quebec Frenchies want to leave Canada. Okay, it's a bucket list item. Lobster mac and cheese. No, I come from a lobster fishing town. I don't love it. I certainly wouldn't be paying big dollars for it. Quebec has its own laws that are actually anti-Canadian, such as English-only signs. Yes, that's a good one for my video. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've got to make some notes. You'll excuse me for a second. What have I got here? Canada Day 4, yes. No English signs. What is the actual deal on that? I'm sure I would have seen English signs. Is it just street signs? What is it? Are you going back to the same poutine? No, I'm not going to poutine again. I only did that for a video. I don't love this stuff. Meant to say French. Sorry, that's what I meant. No English signs, only French. Law 101 requires predominance of French. They're frightened, are they? They're going to lose their Frenchinality. Just a minority wants independence from Canada. All signs, there's a French language law. That's not anti-Canadian. That's more for language preservation, yes. It has to be French language first, and English text has to be 20% smaller. Okay, French first. I'll have a look when I'm out and about today and see whether people are adhering to that. Sounds like they're a little bit frightened. Language preservation is important. You lose culture when you lose a language. French needs to be predominant, is the Quebec law, yes. Weather-wise, been just gorgeous, maybe 27 tops. And I found some biscuits today in a shopping centre from Leclerc. Not Charles Leclerc, but I've not seen that name on biscuits, on any product. Finally, no rain anticipated for the CDN GP. That is correct. Well, that was a couple of days ago. There's plenty of work going on at the track when I went out there 2 days ago. Do I speak any French? Someone said very little. Enough to ask directions and order some food. But they hadn't handed over to Formula One yet, so you didn't need a pass to get in, and I could do some videoing, which is good because once they hand it over to Formula One's rules apply, and I can't do any video where I'm not the subject of it. And I can before they take control of it. So I thought that was a pretty good video, and it's going all right. It's my third of the last 10 videos. Third most popular. I'm quite thrilled when I go to restaurants and I look at the menus, and I always think, oh, that's euros or US dollars. And they go, hang on, it's Canadian. That's far better value. It's only, I think, about at dollars, you've got to add about 11% to the price you see on the menu for Australian dollars. Oh, then of course you got bloody tips and taxes, which is a pain in the ass. We won't go there. Recommend doing a loop, Ottawa, Montebello, Tremblant. No, I don't like Pepsi, Tim. Oh, I'll drink it if I have to, but I don't love it. Am I doing a meet and greet in public soon? Well, it'll be at the track if I have time, and I won't know until Wednesday. So keep a look out on Instagram. If I do one, it'll be up at the hairpin because I've got to go up there, and I think that's an easy place for me to meet people and tell them where to go, and I think that's where a good number of spectators are. It's too hard around the paddock because there's no general admission, really. Yes, I went to Cirque last night. Sensational. really good. And I've seen a lot of Cirque du Soleil shows, but this one I thought had some very unique ideas and some stunning acrobatics. Just to watch them that close, because I was in the front row, it's mind-boggling. In fact, the guys on those trapeze swings were coming maybe 1.5 meters above my head. I was so close to it. What's my favourite photo position at this track? I like the shooting through the trees at the back. Gustav, a repeat super chatter. Thank you, Gustav. I won't be doing any flights unless if I don't have to take luggage there, that would be fine. Montreal, St. Pierre, Miquelon. I've pronounced it wrongly, I have no doubt. And you'd be in actual France, a few kilometres off the coast of Canada. Okay, I didn't know that. But I don't really... I might do that biplane thing because I could mount a camera somewhere. It'd be interesting. How often are you recognised in public? A few times here. In fact, the guy that did the Stay Passionate on the last video came up to me, and this was a funny thing because I wanted to do a bit about the drama that they had in the city here last year, where on the Friday night, the second busiest night of the, probably second or third busiest night of the Grand Prix, maybe of the year here, all these places had terraces on the road, outdoor terraces. And at 10 p.m. on the Friday, the fire people come in and shut them all down. Oh, we're doing a check on the busiest night of the year, and no, you don't comply, so you've got to shut everything down. And it was appalling. And as per my video, the tourism person for Quebec or Montreal was embarrassed, and they should rightly have been embarrassed because it's not something you should be doing on the night. It should have been done well prior if you're going to close someone down. And I went and found a restaurateur, and I was trying to explain to him what I do, and what I wanted to do was interview him. And then this guy came up and said, "Oh, I watch all your stuff," and he spoke French. And so he explained to the restaurant owner what I did, and you'll see him on the video. It worked well. At the same time, a couple of other young kids came up, and then, yeah, look, mainly in Formula One cities, it happens because although we are a week away from that, so perhaps that doesn't gel with what I was about to say. Now, says Jeremy, Quebec remained its own colony through the territorial battles of the English and French through 16, 17 and 1800s. So this country was going in the 1600s. Our country only started in the 1800s. Cochrane, Alberta. Now, Alberta's a long way away, isn't it? It's not a few hours drive from here. Let's have a look on my map. I've got a map. I did have a map. Yeah, I just wanted to do a couple of hours, a few hours at most, drive each day to find somewhere new. So I will stay in 6 hotels in 6 nights, from Montreal to Ottawa to the next 3 nights, and then back to the Fairmont. I can't remember what I was looking up now. You know how massive Aussie is, and Canada is even bigger, yeah. Go to Dandy's for breakfast. We're here. I'll tell you what I did today. I went to the worst laundromat in the world, did my washing, and then I thought, I'll just go and get I'll get a bread roll, some butter, a knife, some jam, some cheese, and I'll just spread it on the back of the car. And that was my breakfast, because I wanted to go and have a nice breakfast, but I couldn't find anywhere decent, and it was just a nightmare getting around. So no, had enough of that. Cochrane's is suburban Calgary. Calgary's miles away. I have to be able to drive. Remember, I've got 4 nights to do this little trip, and it's got to be drivable. I'm not getting on a plane. And it would be nice to have something scenic, and I know a couple of you have said Mont Tremblant, but I'll worry about that tomorrow because I want to do it at the last minute. That was the whole thing, that I don't have an exact idea of where I'm going. The backdrop. No, I've done that. No, my son has gone back to Australia. He didn't like Canada last year. Not sure I did either, but I have to do them. Montreal GP was supposed to be my first, says Mad Dog 204. wasn't able to make it work. Is Austin or Vegas a good sub for Canadian? Austin is more of a purist's race, and Vegas is more an experience. I like Vegas because it's really good for business. My videos go absolutely bunter there. And look, it's great. You can walk to the track. None of this traffic problems here if you're on foot. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. So that's my suggestion to you, Mr. Mad Dog or Mrs. Mad Dog. My wife and I regularly attend both. I believe Austin is the better GP, says Team Red Guts. So on the plane coming over here, before I was just doing some video at the start of the flight, and a gentleman behind came up and he said, "Oh, just a word of warning, Kim," and he's just a passenger, not a crew member. Where are we? Montreal. In Montreal, just be careful of the Palestinian protests. Oh, okay. Thank you for the heads up, I said. So apparently that's the thing. They have lots of these Palestinian protests. And I did see something on this the first morning I was here, and by the time I got down, it was a couple of blocks away, and by the time I got down there, it all dispersed. I thought that might be interesting for my video, but no. Any groundhog sightings? No. They are out at the track. I have seen one out there crossing the track on the Wednesday prior to the race. But I did see today an otter and a beaver at that biosphere thing. Go to a Palestinian protest would be good content. Well, yeah, I've not seen one. We don't have them in Lanson. It's not a thing. What are you looking forward to the most next year with rule changes? I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with Formula One with another team in there, because some paddocks, like Monaco, have no room, and they're going to have to, I think, put in temporary, we call it hospitality suites instead of letting the teams bring in their hospitality suites, because there's just no room. What else? I don't much care about the rules and the technical side of things. I've got no idea about it. No, I'm not going to Perth after this race. I stay an extra couple of days here, I think a few days here. Then I'm going back to Barcelona for a few days there. And then I go to where? Austria? And Jace is coming back for Austria. It's on Sunday, says, I don't know what that's about. Perth, Ontario. Is there a Perth? Because there's a Perth in Scotland. Perth, Ontario. Well, look at that. Look at that. It's a small little place. That's a tautology. It's a small place. There you go. I should probably only let the top 20 races instead of 22 with the extra teams. What about the old days when you used to have to qualify 107% with the time? So if the fastest time was 100 minutes and you were 108 minutes, you couldn't start the race because you weren't within 107% of the fastest time. Becoming increasingly unwelcoming to foreigners, even wealthy white tourists who are probably the group most welcome. This is based on experiences. Are you talking about Montreal, MBX, LHS? Is that what you're talking about? There's a Perth in every Commonwealth country. Get out. Is there really? I see they've still got the Queen on their currency like we have on ours. At some point, we're going to have to put the King on it. But what happens if he dies and you've gone and changed over your currency? It's a hell of a bloody investment to go and change it all again. Not that you have to recall all the old ones. Go to Sydney, Nova Scotia. No, that's too far away, I believe. I know they used to have more than 20 on the grid. What? Would Max get a race ban for what? We even have London, Ontario. I do know that one. Why you keep saying the same question? After Ottawa, Mont-Tremblant is a great stop. It's an hour and 50 drive from the Andaz. Yes. Look, I'm not ruling it out. I will wait and see what happens in Ottawa, see if it's successful, and then I will decide tomorrow night. With your help, people, with your help. The King was just in Ottawa for the throne speech. Nice to hear. I really need to... This is jumping around a little bit. My apologies, because it's not anchored down. Perth Street Race Motorplex. That's my Perth in Western Australia. Stop spamming. I'll get rid of him. He's a wally. He's just ruining it for all the nice people. Visit Stroll's house. Where is it? He's gone to do some stuff in the factory. I thought he might have been here early, but no. It's 1:41 in Subi, Kim. Definitely a dedicated viewer, yes. You might see my son. He might be in Subi. It's 1:41. He'd probably still be up, carrying on. Does love to go out and party, although he likes Fremantle. What about, no, I'm going to put this down here, and I apologise, because it's going to be a lot more stable. There we go. You've got a different aspect. Not a great aspect. But it'll do, and so now I can move that screen without you having to do any jiggling or be jiggled about. Could you please hit the like button? I think this is the wrong time for me to be doing live streams, by the way, because I've only got 230. If I do them in the normal time, because obviously I'm not getting any European people, am I? What time is it? Yeah, I'm getting European people at night. I don't know. It is what it is. What's your dinner plan tonight? Don't know. I've got no plans. I've not made a plan. Typically, it'll be last minute, and I'll end up settling for some shit that I failed to plan for. Last night I just went to the Keg at 10 after going to see Cirque du Soleil. It's almost 8 p.m, yes. The ceiling of the room looks like it's concrete. It's quite nice, but the air conditioning is fantastic. I was a bit whingy about it for the first 2 nights. Turns out I didn't even have it on. That's why it wasn't cooling it. Go to Quebec City. Yeah. I've sorted out tomorrow night, so we won't think about the next few nights. Well, technically I won't, but I will. I'll think about it. What is the price of petrol in Montreal? I don't know. I had an electric car last race, so it didn't much matter. Most exhausting race. Well, they're all exhausting. All of them. When are you leaving to Ottawa? Tomorrow morning, yeah. You're driving to Ottawa? Yes, driving. It's a road trip, so I'll be on the road in a motor vehicle, petrol engine, a Ford Mustang, and I'll be paying the valet parking fees, which are a lot cheaper than Europe or the US. Do I have a video up about how to get into your career? No. 151 Canadian a litre? That's not bad. Is there any taxes on top of that? It's not the worst. Not as cheap as the US, and nothing like Bahrain, where they're paying about 50 euro cents a litre. How many different lenses do you carry on race day? On race day? 2, maybe a third one in the bag, but I hate doing that. Am I in Canada? Yes, I'm in Canada. Ferrari Festival in Little Italy in Ottawa tomorrow. Okay, let me write that down. What would I do there? Ferrari. I tell you what, are any of you fans of Tour de France? Just quickly, show of hands. Tour de France fans, anyone? I know there's a bit of a lag here. No drivers would have arrived, I imagine. I can't see the point. Lewis, yes, okay, 2, 3, 4 people at least. So get this, I've been offered an opportunity to go for, actually I'll find the wording of what it was. And tell me whether you think I should do this. Oh, I can't find it. Go to Rouen for the Rouen stage, which is where Pierre Gasly's from, of the Tour de France, which is on the 8th of July. Have all access to a team and their riders. Go in the hospitality vehicle. Go in the vehicle that drives on the track with those riders, and do a video about that. What do you reckon? Do it, Olivia? You reckon do it? I think it holds a lot of appeal. I've never ever seen that, and I think to get that sort of access would be phenomenal. yeah, I could photograph it, and there's no pay. There's just as somebody said, do you want to do this for content? And I thought, yeah, because I'll be in Paris. My family's coming over. We've got an apartment in Paris for a month, and it's a day off. You need to be Mr. Beast level clout. Yeah, I know, and we're working our bloody asses off to get towards that. We'll never get to that, but we'll continue growing. And this year, I can tell you, we started at 400,000 on YouTube and 600. This was in March. 400 and 600 were our figures for that and Instagram. We're now 470, I think, 470 on YouTube and 710. So that's a rise of something like 13 or 15% in 3 months. I just hope that extrapolates out to the rest of the year, keeps going up at the same rate. Do you like using pancake lenses? Never use one. Jace brought my tilt shift to the last race and shot with it off the top of the Amano building. Not last race, in Monaco. It's stunning. It just gives you these amazing looking pictures that are so hard. And I'll show you what I'm talking about because I've got my laptop here. Monaco, Sunday. Let's have a look. Here we go. Let me find it, people. Stand by. Here we go. Right out. Oh, come on. That's stuck down. Is that any good? Yeah, that's all right. So you can see here, car's sharp. Then it gets increasingly out of focus that way and increasingly out of focus down here. This one here, we've got the line of focus running across here, and there to there out of focus, there to there out of focus. What else? There's another couple here somewhere. Line of focus running down where? Must be across here. And everything up there out of focus. It's a phenomenal lens. Tricky to use, manual focus, but it does give you a rather unique look. That's right, it gives you that miniature look. And the shots that I love the most that make it look like miniatures is when you do shots from high up at a train platform and all the people waiting on the platform or the train coming through. It's just a beautiful, beautiful effect. If I come to France, feel free to visit us on the West Coast. No, won't be doing that. I'll be staying in Paris at an apartment that we rented when the kids were maybe 10, 8 and 10, 10 and 12, in I can't even say the name of it, but it's stunning. 3 stories, big. Yeah, we loved it. So we'll be staying there, and then I've got to race off and do one race, I think, and come back. And that they stay there, and we'll do that thing with the Tour de France, which I think will be phenomenal. Having seen so much on telly, I might get a bug for it and ask if I can do another stage. But yeah, I'm very thankful to a sponsor of one of the teams for thinking of me. Glad you love the diversity of my videos. Mark, it's killing me, but gives me something to do. VB77 is short for Valtteri Bottas. I shouldn't swing around this chair. Yeah, I had a chat with him out on the grid on Sunday, and I chatted with him 2 races prior in Imola. He said, look, it's the first time I've ever been out on the grid where I'm not a driver. He's such a great guy. Very calm, typically Finnish, and desperate to get back in. And of course, there are 2 new seats opening up. There'll be some roundabout movements mid-year. Look, he's a good driver. He's won races. Just needs to get behind that wheel again. So it'll be very interesting to see if he bounces back. He's certainly a fine man. One of the best. In Montreal, go and eat some... I don't like bagels. I had them... Somebody said, oh, these are the best bagels. So I went and had a taste of them. I thought, just heavy bread. Can you do a video of the mechanics on what they need to do? I'm not sure I'm the right person for that video. Maybe. I won't rule it out. I'm doing some stuff on the Champagne and Moet this year. And I've got some information that's really interesting. It'll probably be in my my Monday post-race video. Bottas should do supercars, wildcard, Adelaide. Yeah, I have some news about Valtteri too. He gave me, and he said, I can't release it yet. But I know, and it has something to do with Australia. Will you visit Parliament? I might, I've got a car, so I imagine I can drive past it and do a quick bit, jump out of the car, and that behind me is the National Parliament for Canada. Valtteri, I love the Aussie lifestyle. He certainly does. Yeah, and Tiffany has certainly opened his eyes to how good it is. And not as cold as where he comes from, that's for sure. Now, for those of you who have not watched my video about the Canada race, I urge you to do it after we finish this. It's can I show you this? Yeah, I'll just show you quickly. See this picture there? It's a pretty cool picture. And I'm going to put that up on Instagram at some point, and I'll tell you on Instagram about it, because it was a fluke. And I've often wanted to do a picture like that, and at some point I'll put it up. You've got a sneak peek. Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. Yeah, it is a beautiful picture, David. That's at Salts, which is a restaurant or a cafe in Barcelona at the Olympic swimming pool where they did the diving. No, sorry, the Olympic diving pool. One of the most spectacular places I visit each year. Maybe you would like the Terrace St. Ambrose Beer Distillery in Montreal. What are your thoughts? I don't drink beer, so I don't think that would be the appeal, but is it an interesting place, good buzz? What is it? Kim, favourite cheese this year has to be King Island Surprise Bay Cheddar. I adore it. And in fact, I was saying to Tonya this morning that I am so desperate for some bread from Henry's Bakery in Llancelyn, Western Star butter. No, is it Western Star? Yeah. Vegemite, Surprise Bay Cheddar, toasted. I miss it. I miss it so much. It's a terrace next to Latchine Canal. The Fairmont has a rooftop bar I saw last night. I'm staying there next week. Been to Montreal 500 times. Okay. Best way to try to get an autograph from drivers, camp out at their hotel and wait. Your best chance is to get them alone. So you have to work out where you are the only fan and you have a far better chance. So that's your challenge. If there are 1,000 people all waiting for an autograph, chances are no one's getting one. And at the very best, the people down the front will get it. How to start a YouTube channel about kart track. Any thoughts? Do it. Make a video. Then make 2. Then make 3. At some point, maybe you'll have 1,000 of them. What else have I got? Hit St. Denis Street. Lots of restaurants there and closed street. Where is that? Let's have a look. Thank you, people, for your suggestions. It's valuable from people in the know. St. Denis Street, Montreal. I hope it's closed. No, it's not close, is it? It's not within walking distance. No, it's 23 minutes by car. I'm not driving anywhere. It's too much of a chunk out of my day. Metro station? Yeah, I did a bit of stuff the other day. I tell you, I wanted some vision of the metro trains for a video. And I went to the station. I said to the guy, what's the cheapest ticket I can take just to get in here and take some vision? He said, just go in and come back. I thought, that's lovely. I did that too, somewhere else this year. Oh, where was it? It doesn't come to mind. But yeah, they were great. No, you can go in and take some vision and come back. So I like that. I've just watched the new video, says Mark Hughes. I wanted to say thank you. It's my first time in Canada watching the F1 race, and I found it very helpful. There you go. Can you make vlogs? Isn't that what I do? How does a vlog differ from my videos? Your Andaz Hotel has a great rooftop bar. Yes, well, my wife, or someone, Jace or Tonya booked it because I got the confirmation. And it was only 380 Aussie. Andaz, actually I shouldn't use that tab, I'll use this one. Andaz, oh, I've got an itchy back. Ottawa. I wanted to do this live stream out on the street at the restaurant, but they've got music pumping out there, it's too loud. Andaz Ottawa rooftop bar. I love rooftop bars. It's open from 5 p.m. to midnight. Let's have a look at the images. Oh yeah, that's nice. This is what it looks like, people. It looks like that. And yeah, gets you out in the open. I've got another video coming up. Air Canada. Is it as bad as what they say? And then there are 2 hotel reviews. Well, they're only short reviews, maybe a minute and 50 seconds on the other one. For this hotel, which is Le Germain, which is gorgeous. And the other one was 70 in Barcelona, which is stunning. I highly recommend it. What is there that you need to be afraid of in a protest? I don't know. I give up. What is the answer? How did you learn how to edit? By doing it. How do you learn to do anything? You just do it. Do you ask drivers in the parade? Do I ask them what? Quebec City is way better than Montreal. Yes, and I think I will end up there on my 4-day road trip, unless something better comes up. But don't want to say yes yet. Yes, the answer, Chris, is yes. It has the very colourful facade, different colours all the way up the building. How's the pool table looking like at your hotel these days? Have they recovered it yet? There's no pool table at this hotel, is there? I don't remember a pool table here. Try Crescent Street tonight. Where's Crescent? Is that in town? Oh boy, it was pumping down last night near the Keg in the middle of town. Crescent Street, Montreal. Well, that's only 6 minutes. Where do I go? Crescent Street. Sir Winston Churchill. Now, is there something in Ottawa about Winston Churchill? Did I read that somewhere? Yes. Somebody sent me quite a long message about that. Ottawa, Winston Churchill. Recovered portrait of Winston Churchill. Nearly 3 years after brazen theft. Was swiped, replaced with a copy, reported stolen 6 months later, recovered in Italy, been returned to the wall of the Fairmont Chateau Laurier Hotel in Ottawa. So maybe I ought to go and have a look at that and do that little story. I better write that on my list. At the Fairmont Laurier. Fairmont Winston. Okay, I'm going to be a busy lad. In Ottawa, do you like the schedule change having the Canadian GP earlier in the season next year? One of the I don't know. It'll be back to back with Miami, which is fantastic. Saves me a fortune. One of the original fountains from Trafalgar Square in London is now in Ottawa. Okay, Trafalgar Square fountain in Ottawa. Well, this is very handy. Get inner track access and wait outside the paddock. Swipe gates where drivers enter or leave the paddock. Yes. But once again, if there's hundreds and hundreds of you, chances are you'll have to be in the front row, or if you're lucky enough to get them at a different gate, you know which gate they're coming out of, and you're the only couple, one or two there. And in fact, I did see somebody get Lewis's attention as he went to the drivers' parade on Sunday. And I don't know what he had. He had a pass of some sort, or a ticket, or a card. But Lewis went past him, stopped, and then walked back a couple of metres. And that's something we don't see very often. Yay, Kim Elman in Quebec City. Awesome pictures to be taken there. Yeah, look, I don't know whether I take too many pictures when I'm away from the track. I think I do enough at the track. But look, if it's something fantastic, yes. Meet and greets for this weekend, not this weekend, but for the race weekend, I'll know on Wednesday, so keep a look on my YouTube channel, Instagram page. How are you finding the smoke in Montreal today? Fine, it's just a bit hazy out there. There's a theme park here too, down on the water, which looks all right. I used to love them as a teenager and early 20s, particularly when I go and stay with my cousins in America, because we go to Disneyland, we go to Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags, all those. Spent a poultice of money on there. Very nice. Chateau Laurier is literally right next to Parliament Hill. Where is Lance? He's in London, England, doing some sim stuff, where he was yesterday. Cirque du Soleil is on right now. I went there last night, Chris. Thoroughly loved it. Have a look at my Insta post. Story, actually. It was stunning. And Brad Pitt's already doing promo for his movie. He's out and about, talking it up. I've got to check on Monday and see whether my request has any chance of coming to fruition to interview the man. Edmonton. No, Edmonton is... I've got to do 4 different cities in 4 nights, and I'm not getting on a plane. I hate flying. It's too much packing up of stuff. No interest. I want to drive. The Museum of Civilization is in Quebec, not Ottawa. Okay, noted. I'm not a very good museum person. I don't know. Sham, I don't know where there's going to be an invite. Where they're going to have a premiere. There are going to be lots. I don't know. It's the smoke is choking us up here in New York. Get out. It's not that far, is it? Is the Netflix crew at every race? Yep, every single race, and not one crew. Sometimes there's 3, sometimes 4. Italian Ferrari Festival happening tomorrow in Ottawa with a car show and parade. Yeah, could be good for my video. Hopefully it's not too far from where I'm staying. Movie looks less real and dry. Of course it's less real. It's a fiction. If you want real, watch Drive to Survive. Or go to a track and see the real thing. The movie is not meant for F1 devotees. It's meant for people who want a bit of escapism for 90 minutes. Well, I don't know how long does it run. Does it run 90 or 2 hours? We got a crazy car coach coming up in Niagara on the Lake. 5,000 Paganis, Bugattis. I met the owner of Bugatti last race. Interesting fella. I'm pretty sure he's the owner. He's high up anyway. But at the moment, I've agreed to go. I've booked, based on a number of comments here and some stuff people have sent me. My first night of my road trip, where I'm driving, is to Ottawa. And in fact, I'll be doing 6 hotels in 6 nights, starting with the first night tonight here at Le Germain and finishing up at the Fairmont on the 6th night. But the 4 in between were up for grabs, and I've decided to go and stay one night at the Andaz in Ottawa, and I'm not sure what I'm going to book for the remaining 3. I'll worry about that tomorrow. And I'll be doing a live stream from a restaurant in Ottawa tomorrow night, where I give you the chance to pick what I eat for dinner and then suggest the accommodation for the next night and where we go. Have you gone on the old Montreal Ferris wheel? I saw it last night. It's down near the Le Grand Chapiteau, where I went to see Lucia, the Cirque du Soleil show. And I recommend it to you highly. It was fantastic. A room tour, it's in my video coming up in 2 nights' time. Thorough review, well, not a thorough, it's an okay review of this hotel, and also the one which I came from. And of course, Air Canada. Is the ceiling above you really as bad? No, it's just raw concrete. That's the whole idea. It's very earthy. There you go. It's just raw concrete. It's trendy. Very big room. Ottawa is not a small city anymore. It's a city of over 1 million people. What's the population here? Is this bigger or smaller? Who designed your thumbnail? Pavel in my office. Do you ever get homesick? I want to get on the jet skis with my son And of course they're in Perth, so that's a bummer. And I caught up with Tonya. She came over here. Well, she left about a week ago, and she's coming back in 4. So I'll see her for the best part of a month. So that's fine. I do miss Vegemite sandwiches, toasted Vegemite sandwiches. Yeah, but no, there's always something interesting to look forward to. If you have time, come down to Niagara Falls. I think that looking on the map, it was too far. Let me go and have a look again. Maps. Niagara Falls. Directions. Yeah. That's 6 hours. I'm not driving 6 hours. I've got 4 nights, and I don't want to do any more than about 2-3 hours a day driving. Otherwise, it's too much. And hopefully, I see some good stuff on the way, and you'll get to see all of what not all, a lot of what I do in a video where it'll be my Canada road trip. There you go. What do you think about Tottenham sacking Ange? Oh, is that right? I didn't know that. Big Ange. Tottenham, Ange, sack. Let's have a look. When was that done? 37 minutes ago. Oh. They're going to have to pay £4 million compensation to him. Yeah, he was a character. I liked him a lot. Not that I have any interest in soccer, except photographing a few players. I photographed all the English team the other day. And I thought Jude Bellingham was pretty good with the fan. Stopped, came back out of the FIA hospitality suite, spent some time, I'm talking 20 seconds or so, signing and writing something to someone on his... Yeah, they had a Jude Bellingham jersey. Nothing but trees between Montreal and Ottawa. See, I've got no idea what to expect down there. Is it freeway? Is it water? Is it trees? Sounds like it might be. Maybe see moose. Yeah, I want to see, I think you mean moose, but you've written mouse. I want to see a moose, and I'm told they're very big, and I'm told there's a possibility, depending on where I go, to see wolves. Yeah, interesting. No kangaroos in this part of the world. Yeah, Mont Tremblant keeps getting mentioned. I fear that, well, not fear, I think that might be on the cards. Cows and trees. Okay, all freeway, speed limit goes up to 110 once you get into Ontario. Is there any hope you drive an F1 car? None. None whatsoever. It's farmland and trees. Has F1 ever cancelled a season? Don't know. I don't think so. Which race would I say is the most dead race? Vibe. China. If you want to take... Oh, try beavertail pastry when you're in Ottawa. Okay. Beavertail pastry. I have a list here of stuff that might be interesting for my video. Yeah, Mont Tremblant used to host the Canadian GP. Didn't know that. I have to make detailed notes after this. Used to host GP. How is it that you seem to know everyone? Because I go to every race, Eddie. If you went to every race, you'd know them all and they'd know you. That's what happens. Beavertails are amazing Ottawa staple. I had some very good chocolate milk here yesterday too. I love chocolate milk. Don't take Highway 50, too dangerous. Is it like Indian Ocean Drive in Western Australia? Highway 50, no go. Well, let's have a look and see how I'd get there. If I go to your location and then go to Ottawa, one's 3 hours 11 minutes and the other's 2:27. No, Highway 50's 3 hours 11, so no way. I'll go route 417, if you're okay with that, guys. 417. It's a 2-lane road. A piece of the Berlin Wall is downtown Montreal, next to Paris Metro. I saw the wall. I crossed over into East Germany once, had to change some money into their local currency, and it's very dingy, very dark. Why is that dangerous? Yes, 417 is good. Is it a superhighway? Because looking at the map here, it looks very green all the way. What is your PC spec? It's the very best Mac. Whatever the very best Mac is, that's it. No museums in Montreal, none at all. I did go to the Biosphere today and have a look. Fair play, hi from Hungary, says Eddie. Oh. Distances are huge in Canada, so if you're only by car, you won't make it to many big places. I tell you, it's not as huge as Australia, because when we drive from Perth to Adelaide, it must be 24 hours, and most of it you'll see nothing. It's also the longest straight piece of road in the world, is it not? Not that I've ever driven there. I was thinking about taking my Porsche across there, but it's just awful with road noise. It would just drive you crazy. 50 is by the Quebec side. Yeah, there's a lot of greenery. Look at this. This is what we see. I'm going to go from here, and I can't see how this looks. I imagine that's okay. From there, all the way through to there. Is that right, Ottawa? Yeah. So this looks quite green up here, very thick. Lots of forest. Lots of trouble. Another nice place in Montreal is Jardin Botanique. If you're into gardens, oh, not really. But the other day when we went to Salts in Barcelona, we walked through a park there above where that cable car goes. That was spectacular, and I'm not sort of someone that gets excited about that sort of thing. Trans-Canada Highway is longer than Australia. They speak English or French. Well, they speak both here. I've not found anyone really who doesn't speak both languages, but French is the go-to. 417 is a nice 2-lane highway. There's a lot of construction on the outskirts of Montreal, and there is a lot of construction on the streets here in Montreal, which will be a pain in the arse come Friday and Saturday night of the GP. Lots of green along the highways, but major highways not really in the wilderness. Further east or west from either city is more wilderness. What cars do you have in your collection? I drive mostly a Ford, what is it? Toyota FJ Cruiser, there we go. FJ Cruiser, which I love, because that goes in the sea, it goes in the sand dunes. It's got a bit of rust on it, but we got that sorted out. And I got a 911 and what else? A Tesla. Yeah. 417 will be low traffic early on Saturday, yeah. It's good to hear. And what am I going to see? I go through little towns like Rigaud, Dunvegan, Castlemaine, Limoges, Edwards, do I go through there? Rideau Canal. That's pretty much in Ottawa. Look, I'm a novice with all these names, so I don't expect to get any of them right. Probably get me a C- for pronunciation. Make sure to watch the Stanley Cup Finals game tonight. Where are they playing? Okay, so that's news to me too. Yeah, last night there was a huge number of people out opposite the Fairmont Hotel near the Keg in an outside bar, and it was such a lovely buzz. No aggro, no Palestinian protests that I was warned about. It was just good fun. The game's in Edmonton. Is that the Oilers? Who are they playing? Florida. What's the Florida team? You won't see much in terms of little towns, the highway bypasses. Okay. No, I haven't had a shawarma. Ottawa is the shawarma capital of Canada. It's delicious Middle Eastern food, yeah. Oilers versus the Panthers. Thank you for that. Those are all towns off the highway. Yeah. And I guess... Sometimes I'm loath to get off the highway. Once you get going, you just want to get there, but I've got to be more mindful of getting off the highway and having a look at interesting stuff. I won't see moose or wolves in the wild between Montreal and Ottawa, but if you went to Chateau Montebello, you could visit Omega Park, 2 k's away, see moose, bison and wolves. So, but they're not out in the wild, they're in some park, are they? Who will be in the Wall of Champions this year? Will Lance? Who knows? A couple of times I've said Lance Stroll, local hometown hero. People go, no, we don't like him, which I thought was pretty harsh given he's a Canadian. But that were some regular comments I've heard, both in person, talking to people here, and also comments on a YouTube video that went up because I said hometown hero. Yeah. Okay, so I drive my car in the park, so it's technically in the wild, radio. I'm surprised that nobody's suggesting Quebec. No, a few people did, but I'm going the opposite direction. I may end up there, but at this stage, my first stop's Ottawa, and I've got 3 nights after that I have to work out where I'm staying. It's going to be an interesting little affair, and maybe I'll get out in the wilderness. I haven't had a look yet, but hopefully there's some last-minute bargains there. Lance is from here, but he has no status in Montreal, unlike Jacques or Gilles. Jacques always wears a T-shirt under a long-sleeve check shirt. Well, 90% of the times I see him in his outfit. That's his go-to outfit. Most Canadians aren't in the 0.1% club. Have you watched any NHL games? Yeah, I went and saw Gretzky play once. I can't remember any other times. It was all right. Best player in the world is competing for his first championship after losing last year. Okay. With the smoke, maybe wilderness is not a good idea. Why? Banff National Park is nowhere near me, I'm sure. Stroll is Canada's embarrassment. Tell you what, you're pretty harsh on him, guys. Yeah, he cops a bit, doesn't he? It's tough because theoretically, if your dad doesn't support you in what you do, that's cause for, I think, like if I didn't support my son, if he said, look, I want to do this, I think I'm really good at it, and I didn't support him, I'd look like a bit of a cock. But Lance's dad does do that, and it still looks bad for Lance. Oh, no, it's just your dad's money. Well, it's someone's money for every single driver, because drivers at 19 don't have any money. That's the thing, and they're playing in a rich man's sport. So I feel for him a little bit there. And look, he's never been rude to me. I've said hello to him a couple of times. I don't talk with him much, not mates with him, but I don't work closely with him. So maybe, but I do know Henry, his trainer, and his trainer says he's a fun guy. He said a couple of times, he said, oh, we watch your videos and we have a laugh when you say this or that about him. And no, I won't go into that story. But yeah, look, I think Henry gets on very well with him. He's a complicated fella. He's got it tough because his parents are so rich. It's perhaps a blessing and a curse. Perhaps there's a story, a video in that. Who knows? And a lot of the money is associated with Anglophone elites, okay? Stroll's a nice guy, but just hasn't worked out in F1 for him. Well, the stats say it hasn't worked out. That's exactly right. Like it hasn't worked out for Nico. Nico has not had a podium. And it'd be lovely to see. But where was he on the weekend? Was he 5th? That might have been his closest for a long time. I did think that day in Hockenheim, he was so close to getting on the podium. Was he 4th when he crashed? And I was there, and I had to photograph him with a long lens, and he was gutted. And he's such a lovely fella, such a lovely man. Makes me laugh. I had dinner with him one night in Moscow. It was a funny story. I decided I'd go to bed early. I must have just flown in from somewhere. And I was lying in bed just flicking around social media, and I see he's put up a picture of him in Red Square. So I sent a message to his trainer, and I said, oh, look, if you're about and want to have a meal, let me know. And he said, yeah, come down. We're at the Ritz-Carlton. Rightio, so I got up and got dressed, went and had a meal, had a laugh. It was a funny night. And it just came out of nowhere. So, yeah. To be honest, Stroll could be popular if he had some sort of personality. He just looks bored. Yeah, he doesn't have the spark of a Lando, or of he doesn't have the sharp wit of, say, an Oscar. Yeah, but that's him, and I guess each to their own, huh? Jimi Hendrix once said, "Sometimes the more money you have, the more blues you have." Yeah. If Lance isn't able to race in Canada, who do you think should replace him? It'll be Felipe, without a shadow of a doubt. But I think he'll race. I think he's absolutely going to race. Stroll could be popular if he had some sort of... we said that one, yeah. Bring a cheap disposable camera to a GP and post the results. Very hard to photograph. No. I did think about shooting on film one race, but I think it would be too much of a struggle. Although I did do that thing with Shell where they gave me all those photos and said, go and find those spots and hold the photo up and take a photo of what it looks like now, which I thought was a great project. It turned out to be way harder than I imagined due to having to be able to do it when the track was open but without cars, road cars in the way. But it was a good video in the end, and I was quite thankful for the opportunity to work with them. Montreal is very welcoming to all. I was replying to a comment about the USA. Okay, thank you very much. Do you... What hate is Lando getting? I just think people are pretty desperate and low if they're hating on people on the internet. I don't ever hate anything. I would never write anything negative, and maybe that's because I can easily be called to task over it. But when I see some of the comments on my page, and they're probably the ones I read the most, the negative, and you go there, one follower, no posts. Okay, burner account. It's probably someone that just doesn't like me and uses burner accounts to hide their identity. They're weak people. And have you ever met a hater doing better than you? No, of course not. They're just sad people. In general, don't you think someone else would deserve... No one deserves anything. This is not a deserving game. This is a business. Look, it's a lot of jealous people, Jennifer, I have no doubt. Nothing to do, low self-esteem, just want... Look at me, please pay attention to me, look at me. Yeah, it's funny, but social media is huge. It can be great and it can be nasty. And it's been huge for what I do. It allows me to reach an audience that I could never have hoped to have reached without it. It's good for business. It opens up doors like you would not imagine. But it's a lot of work. Like there's three of us. Well, there's myself, Jace, and then my editor, my video editor, Jack. So there's three of us, and then I've got guys doing thumbnails, helping with other stuff in the office. But it's a full-time job for three of us to maintain and grow what we're doing. But pretty much the same level of work every year yields you 50 to 100% more revenue because of the logistics. You've just got a bigger audience, and that's what we're aiming towards. We're always looking towards next year because we're very close to 1 million followers by the end of the year on Instagram, and 1 million's a good number. 1 million on YouTube is even more valuable, but end of the year will be probably 600 on YouTube. Next year, maybe 1 million by the end of the year. And when you get to 1 million on YouTube, you get another plaque that goes on your wall. And, it's a nice thing. It's a gold one. I got the silver one for 100 grand. At least this corner of social media on your channel is fun. Hard to imagine having a live chat like this growing up with someone as close to the sport as yourself. There you go. And you're lucky because I've got nothing to do. There's a week off and I've got no plans. Absolutely no plans today. I've got to eat at some point. Well, I don't have to, but I will because I adore eating. And I've got to go and buy a shirt, I think. I've done my washing, which is always a grind. And tomorrow I head off on my first of 4 days for my road trip, and I'll be videoing that for you. And hopefully it'll be a good looking video. How come we came so early? Because I couldn't go home because it was too expensive. And to get home was every bit of 28 hours, and coming back would have been 36. So what's that, 50, 60, 64 or something hours in the air at a cost of about 12 grand Aussie. Cheaper for me to just come straight here and kill time here. And I'll do a few videos that I probably wouldn't get done elsewhere, that they pay well depending on how good the video is. So there you go. I'm here and I'm not unhappy about it. It's very relaxed. Sleep until 7 some mornings. That's nice. What is the current Cadillac driver situation? No one knows. Only Cadillac. Yeah, Cadillac. So this is my video to pick the first of the 4 nights, and I picked going to Ottawa as the first stop, and then I've got 3 more nights, and I want to do 4 different hotels, 4 different areas, and hopefully something a little bit out of the ordinary, because the Ottawa one is just a very comfortable, nice, modern hotel. We'll see what the other 3 nights throw up when I look at that tomorrow night. And when I do that, I'll be doing a live stream from a restaurant, showing you the menu. And if you want me to eat something on that menu and you want to do a super chat to make sure it's paid for, yeah, I'm happy to do that. Otherwise, you'll leave it up to me and I'll order what I want. Viewing from Houston. I only went to Houston once, and that was because my flight was cancelled out of Austin. And in the end, I got a cheaper flight out of Houston. So I made money out of it. I would like to go to... Was it NASA? Yeah. And when next time I go to Miami, I'm going to go to Cape Canaveral. Is that the one where they do the rocket launches? Canadian football game tonight. Yeah, I'm not interested in sitting watching an American football game. Do you think Checo will join F1 next year? Yeah. Have you been to the No, never been to Scandinavia. Oh yeah, I tell a lie. Yeah, I stopped in Helsinki for a little bit, as Jace did the other day on his way back. He went Helsinki, Singapore, Perth. Will they hide the view from the casino straight? I don't know. Okay, that's something for my video on Thursday night. Better make a note of that. Thursday night video, put that in. Canada. Excuse me, I can't do 2 things at once. I can barely do one. Canada Day 1, hide straight vantage point for GA. There we go. It's in there. It's in the list. Try Copenhagen. No, unless there's a race there, I won't be going there. Maybe to see the Aurora Borealis, though. I spoke to Bottas, and he said he's going to Cadillac. Thank you, David. Well, I don't think that is the case, because I just don't... Well, hey, who knows? We don't know because they don't know. Don't get me wrong. Montreal's a great city. Alexandra A. Phils. This is the fella that runs it. He's in my video. And it was funny because I was trying to work out where they had this drama of the terraces being closed down last year. And I was watching this TV report, so I did a freeze frame, and I saw the Alexandra A. Phils logo on a, what do you call that? An awning. And that's where I just put into the sat-nav, go there. And I did it. Yay to me. How many Arabian viewers have you got? I don't know. Oh, some. Yeah, I've got some. I've got them everywhere. But the biggest market is US, followed by the UK, Australia, Netherlands, India, and so on and so on. But the UK is by far the biggest. And I've done a Gabriel Bortoletto signed print collaboration. If you're a Gabriel fan and you want to get in the ground floor, because this kid's in the sport for a while, and he's going to be a big name at some point. You get in the ground floor, you'll make some money out of your signed prints. As anyone who bought Oscar Piastri has already pretty much doubled their money. They're very hard to find. And I'd like to do another one with him, but We're nothing confirmed as yet, but yes, you can pick up one of those at the shop at kimmelman.com. And I've just done another collaboration with Mr. Fernando Alonso, who always sells well. He's such a popular man. On a dirt track with world outlaw machines and fans would be epic. Me? Yeah. I did have a quad bike for a while. In fact, one day when Jace was about 12, he was riding the other one. We had a kid's one as well. And he had a fall, and we righted the thing up, and then he set off again, and he was riding behind me, ploughed straight into the back of me. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "The accelerator stuck. It wouldn't go off from the fall." If you want your comment seen, make sure you hit Super Chat. I talked to Enzo. Bottas is replacing Lewis. You guys are just prattling on here. Any chance of a signed print of Vettel? Well, I did raise it with Britta. I'm on the radar, but nothing planned. Come to Vancouver. No, not going to Vancouver. Are you a fan of Tommy Emmanuel, the guitarist? No, not really. No, but I'm delighted you know of him. Venise en Quebec is the correct name of the village. Good to know. Thank you very much, Florida Hotshot. No, that is the ceiling. It's bare concrete. Very trendy. Very trendy. I think that's probably enough now. Might go and have some lunch. What is the time? Can't see on this. Oh, yes, we can. 2:32. Is that lunchtime or is that early dinner? I have to find out. Fun topic for a video. Even though the legal drinking age in Ontario is 19, a lot of people in Ottawa start drinking at 18 because they just crossed the river into Gatineau, Quebec. Rightio, that's an interesting one. I better Ottawa start drinking at 18 because they crossed the river to Gatineau. Gatineau, 18 years drinking. Now, do I have to go anywhere near that when I go to Ottawa? Will they remove the black sheets? Oh, that's something for another video. Let's find Gatineau on my map here. Gatineau. Well, that doesn't look like it's far away at all from Ottawa. Oh, okay. So Quebec, the river is the border between Quebec and Ontario. Right, that's a good bit. So I can stand at some point and say, if you're 18 and a half, you can drink here, but if I step over here, you can't drink. There's no Algonquin Falls. Algonquin Park is the best example of Canadian wilderness. 5-minute walk, says Stephen. Walking distance, crossing the border via bridge. And that would be this bridge that I'm seeing here, perhaps. No, it's all the way down there. I could stand on the bridge, could I not? I wonder if kids... No, they wouldn't do that. Just taunt police. Oh, you can't get me, you can't get me. Nothing in Gatineau apart from the park. The actual town is bad. Rightio. Parliament is on the river. You can walk across the river. They are the same metro area, but different cities. Yeah, I can see this Gatineau here now. Right, well, that's been very valuable for me, people. And with that said, I will suggest to you that you should go about the rest of your day. And of course, as always,